Good morning. Okay. Welcome to the new improved J.J. Carroll. Yay!
Hi everyone, I'm Kenzie. I'm here with Amy because this is really a joint project of Two Life Communities and the Boston Housing Authority, and we're so excited to welcome you all here today.
We're going to be brief because we've ceded our time to people, our elected officials and people who have made this happen.
So you're going to hear in a moment from a couple of our residents, Tarita and Miss Beverly, and they're really the voices that we want to lead this event with, and that will really show you why we do what we do, and then we'll have all the elected officials up who help us with the how of how we do what we do.
In a time when this country is so divided, we have the most phenomenal municipal, state, and federal officials all coming together to work for goodness and justice. We are blessed with this extraordinary leadership, and let me reassure you, when they're outside of the spotlight, these folks are working, fighting for us to get resources for every single one of the projects in our pipeline, and we can't be more grateful.
There is just so many state and city partners who have made this happen, and it really represents what we in the Wu administration are really hoping to do all over the city, which is places where we can both invest in the quality of our units, invest in services for our residents, and grow the number of affordable units. So we're just so excited, and you're going to hear how much this matters when I call up. I think next we've got Tarita and Miss Beverly.
And I'm just going to add that I came to Massachusetts in 1980, and I've worked in municipal government and state government, and I can tell you this is the best lieutenant governor in the world that we've ever seen, and the best mayor of the city of Boston in the history of the city.
All right, so Miss Beverly, can I invite you up? And she'll be followed by the Lieutenant Governor and Mayor Wu.
Oh my goodness, good morning everyone. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh, bear with me. My glasses. Oh boy, I'm so nervous. Oh, take my pen, please. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh God, I'm so nervous. Help me. I'm so nervous. Are you sure? Let me get my glasses out. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Can you get my glasses out of my head? Get them for me. You got them. Oh, I'm so nervous. I got you. Ready? Good morning. So I'm at
Oh my gosh, they're really in there.
You got them there?
Hold on.
You got them there?
I'm not robbing anyone. Okay, there you go.
Hi, sorry about that. My guest friends and friends. Okay. Good morning. Oh, this is an honor. Good morning. Guests, friends. Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous. Sorry. Oh my God, Anna Pressley, I love you. Mary, you're my height. I love you so much. Oh my God. Good morning. It is truly an honor to be here with you. I know that many of you helped make my new home possible. I want you to know how much that means to me and to all of us who gets to lay our heads here at night. Let me introduce myself. My name is Beverly Gilbert. I have dedicated my life for caring for people. I was a certified nurse's assistant for 45 years. Thank you. Filled with friendship, I have years filled with friendship, purpose, and opportunity to make people's day a bit brighter and more comfortable. Who would believe that I spent my entire career within blocks of this very spot where I stand today? My first patient lived just over there at 40 Wallingford Road on this campus. I spent more than a decade over at Chestnut Hill Ave at the Greenery. I worked there for 10 years. And I finished my career as a nurse's assistant at Franciscan Hospital for Children, just up the road. In 2020, after 2 knee replacements, I learned I would need a surgery on my spine. That was also when I was laid off from my job. This was a very hard time. I felt vulnerable. I lost a big part of me. The 14 stairs in my apartment on North Beacon Street became impossible. I felt hopeless. I wanted to live somewhere where I could be more comfortable, where I could start over. I knew about 2 Life because I applied in 2018 to live in their new buildings in Brookline, and 2022 to live in Newton. I did not get in. I was discouraged, but I kept praying. I know there are so many of us who wish to live in a community like the one 2 Life creates. I remember it was late in 2021. I was taking a ride to a doctor's appointment, and I saw the fence around the old J.J. Carroll. When I noticed the 2 Life sign, from then on, I asked the driver to reroute to Chestnut Hill Ave, and after every appointment, so we could pass by and watch the progress. Each time we passed, I would close my eyes and I would pray. I would say, Father God, get me in there. I want to live there. I want to be a 2 Life girl. I want to live there. I want to be there. I want to live there. Then I will open my eyes, and then I will start on my day. Miss Wendy, my BHA coordinator, was almost as excited as I was when I received the letter. J.J. Carroll was at the top of the list. I followed up immediately and showed up to my leasing appointment the next week at 40 Wallingford Road. My sister in Christ, Mrs. Lita Elcock, was with me that day. Oh, yes. God bless you. I love you, baby. Yes. Do you know what you remember what you said to me? You told me, God loves you so much, Sister Beverly, that he built a house from the ground up. Praise God. And Mary Wu, you may not remember me, but you knocked on my door when you was running for mayor. And you asked me for my vote. And you even helped me find a ride. When I said I could not get to the poll, when you asked what matters most to me. And I told you I want more affordable housing for seniors. Well, I got the ride to the senior center, and I got to vote for my mayor. And my mayor sure delivered. Thank you for good on your promise, Mayor. And thank you for all of you here today. May you continue to help people feel as lucky, as loved, and full of hope as I do. Prayer is powerful, and so is your commitment to us seniors. I ask you all to keep delivering. We all deserve a chance to feel the way I do. My 60s was very hard, I did my best to survive. Now I'm 71 years young and happy settled. And happy settled here at 2 Life. I am ready to live. I am already meeting new people. Hey, Jerome. I am moving around more, and I'm starting to find new ways to help my community. If 70 is when you start living and being more active, then bring it. When prayers goes up, blessing surely comes down. You are all my blessings. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our incredible Miss Beverly. Next up, Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Kim Driscoll.
Thank you, Kenzie. All right, Miss Beverly, I want to be a 2 Life girl too. I love it. What a great illustration of why today is so important. The J.J. Carroll, once 64 public housing units, now 142, 100% affordable units at a range of affordability. All universally designed, meaning greater access for all, with support programs and service opportunities here to an age-friendly community. This project is what it means to be age-friendly city and an age-friendly Commonwealth. It's the intersection of housing affordability and being able to age in place with dignity, like so many Beverlys across Massachusetts want to do. Individuals who have given back to their community, who worked in various roles, who aren't ready to leave. And at 71, that's mid-career Beverly for many people. Like any successful affordable housing project, there are a collaboration of resources that make it go. Partnerships that extend, as you can tell, at the local level, the state level, and the federal level to make a project like this work. But it takes leadership, so I want to take my hat off to Amy Scheckman and the 2 Life communities who have found a way not just to do housing, but to do it well. And to the Boston Housing Authority. These are not easy projects. You have to have willing partners to lead this effort. So thank you, Kenzie Bach and the team at BHA for making this possible. And given the number of partners involved, I know there's going to be a few other folks speaking. And our team from the administration is here. Our Secretary of Housing and Livable Communities, Ed Augustus, and our Secretary of Health and Human Services, Kate Walsh. And I think it's because this project is at the intersection of both of those things. And as a state and administration, we are really leaning in to make sure we can have more projects just like this across the Commonwealth. And that means filing the largest bond bill in the state's history at $4.1 billion. That is pending before our legislature right now. Thank you, Rep. Honan, for being here and always being such a strong supporter of housing statewide and understanding that these tools and resources can't wait. We have a major housing challenge in Massachusetts. This is an affront to how we all live, the people that we rely on. Anybody who pours you beer or coffee for a living, or works as a CNA, or somebody you drop your kids off to, or helping take care of an older adult. We need those people to be able to live in our communities across Massachusetts, and right now, too many of them cannot afford to do that. That's what this project is about. That's what our housing bond bill is about. It's about leaning in. We have a housing challenge, and our administration is done admiring that problem. We're getting to work on it. And this is the type of collaboration we're going to need. With funding from the legislature, a major piece of legislation, active, first housing secretariat we've had in 30 years in this Commonwealth, devoted to making housing more abundant and more affordable, and a combination of innovation with programs like Amy's here at 2 Life. We can do this. This is not an insurmountable problem, but it's going to take all of us. So thanks for being here to celebrate this great project. Let's get to work on many more of them. And now let me invite up the partner here. Like housing we need across the state, housing gets built in cities. And as a former mayor, this city's doing it right. Thank you so much for leading this effort, Mayor Wu.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The winds of change are blowing, but it's bad for hair up here, so it's gonna look messy. I am so excited to be here. I, like Miss Beverly, would come by here and monitor the progress and watch, and I would always feel something special when I was going by, and I thought it was just watching the new building and being able to remember what it looked like last time I was here. But now I realized I was feeling your aura of your prayers, making sure the project would go well and would open up for everyone. You are such an inspiration to all of us. We are so grateful for everything you've done for our city and everything that is ahead that we know you will do. So thank you for sharing your spirit with all of us today. I'm really grateful to the Lieutenant Governor and all our partners at the state level, and I see at the federal level as well. So between Governor Healy, Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, Secretary Augustus and Walsh, and all of the many, many folks, we've been excited to have ribbon cuttings and funding announcements and policy proclamations alongside. It truly is a new day in Massachusetts, and we are seeing communities across the Commonwealth step up because we're finally recognizing that at our core, all of the issues we talk about rely on people having a home. There are so many who work to make that possible, so thank you to our HUD Administrator, Juana Matias, for being here, to our state legislative partners, Rep. Kevin Honan, who is here, and I'm sure Senator Brownsberger and Rep. Moran and all of the partners there represented as well. And of course, to our champions at the city level, our City Council President is here, Madam President Ruthie Lejeune, alongside your District Councilor, Liz Braden, Councilor at Large, Julia Mejia. I think I got all the councilors. And I want to give a big shout out to our team at the city level, which makes so much of this feel seamless, if still hard, in putting together all the puzzle pieces. But between Chief of Housing Sheila Dillon and her team, our administrator, the Boston Housing Authority, Kenzie Bach, I don't even want to know what went into the finances of this. I know the city had a small slice of it, and everyone was trying their best to keep that Jenga block tower together to make this possible, and what an impact it's going to have. And I'm sorry, I'm sweeping all around, but way on this side, our partners at the federal level, legislative partners and leaders and champions, Senator Elizabeth Warren and Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. Thank you for always being there, and thank you for always showing up. We had a long weekend together, but the Congresswoman is still in her St. Patrick's Day green. The rest of us are trying to recover. It's impossible to quantify what this will mean to not just the residents and families living here, 150 new residents who are fully rooted in our community, but all of the legacy that will flow from that. We heard a little bit of it in Miss Beverly's story. But I know, looking across this audience, that there are stories from every single person who lives here of how they got here, what they've sacrificed, and how excited they still are to keep contributing. As I was walking in, I met Miss Moy and her daughter Marilyn, who are here as well. They shared just briefly as we were taking a photo together that Miss Moy has lived in the area and had worked as a cafeteria worker at Brighton High School for many, many years. She raised her family here. Her daughter Marilyn, who's sitting next to her, went through Boston Public Schools, graduated from Boston Latin, Harvard Medical School, now is a doctor at the VA hospital. And now Miss Moy gets to fully remain and stay in her community that she has tended for so long and has helped grow the leaders who are shaping Boston today. And I know so many of our seniors have done just that. They've given up so much for our community, and their children and their children's children are going to be the ones who are making decisions everywhere. So this is truly thrilling, and it really goes to emphasize Boston's focus, that we want to be a city that's a home for everyone. And a home, of course, includes housing, but it's not just about having a bed and a roof over your head. That is, of course, the start. but this home has a loving community. It will have one of the newest and most important additions to our city landscape, which is a fully staffed PACE center, program for all-inclusive care for our seniors. I dropped by recently for a Lunar New Year celebration, so there's lots happening here, and we can't wait to be back very often to see all the great work that's happening. And I'm sure it's very warm inside for everyone as well. So congratulations to all. Thank you, thank you.
So now you know I wasn't exaggerating when I said the Lieutenant Governor and the Mayor are the best in the history of the world. And guess what? We now get to welcome the most incredible congressional members that we had and federal administration officials who truly get it. They have taken the time to dive into the details and deeply, deeply understand the importance of aging in community. For these folks here, they're not here for a photo op. They are here because they are believers. They are fundamentally invested in this work, and they are fundamentally invested in all of their constituents and all of you. Senator Warren, Congresswoman Pressley, and Regional Administrator Matias, they have all spent time learning about the twin challenges of aging optimally, affordability and loneliness, and have demonstrated commitment to address these. We're so proud to have them here. And our congressional reps at a time where, if you read the news and watch TV, all the debates are what are they cutting out of the federal budget? What are they cutting? What are they cutting? Not our folks. Our folks are managing to get more money in for affordable housing, so nobody has to get turned down again and again for our housing. Regional Administrator Matias is gracious enough to cede her time to others, so let's thank her for her being a true champion of affordable housing. And please join me in giving an incredible welcome to Senator Warren, and she will be followed by fabulous Congresswoman Pressley.
Good morning. I am here to celebrate. I'm here to celebrate a new home for Miss Beverly and for all of the seniors who will live here in community. I am also here to celebrate the leaders who helped make this happen. This is a beautiful space and an important space, but it only happens because of the hard work of a lot of people. It's a lot of phone calls and a lot of meetings and a lot of drawings and a lot of push to get us here today. So I want to offer a very special congratulations to Amy, to Elizabeth, to the entire Two Life community for making this happen today. One more round of applause for these folks. It's true. I also want to say while I'm celebrating, I'm here to celebrate partnership. Partnership at the local level, partnership at the state level, and partnership at the federal level. When we're trying to get housing here in Massachusetts, I could not ask for a better partner than Ayanna Pressley. Truly the best, a fighter. It's true. It's true. We are standing in front of funding. We are standing in front of funding from Mass Housing, funding from the City of Boston, funding from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, that's the federal level, along with private investors. The reminder that this is truly a group effort and that it is important that we continue to work together as a group. These 142 adaptive and gorgeous apartments will provide more opportunities for Miss Beverly and for others in this community to have safe, affordable housing that permits them to live in dignity. What better goal for our nation than to make certain that's there for everyone? And so I just want to say to you what I say to everyone I get a chance to talk to down in Washington. I'm going to keep fighting to bring more federal funding home to grow our housing supply. That's what we have to do. And we need to work on policies that make it easier to build more places like this one. I've pushed to expand the low-income housing tax credit for more federal, yeah, nerds in the group. Kenzie got that one, yes. This is the underneath wiring that helps make all of this happen. To address this crisis over the long term, we have to build more homes. We need more of every kind of housing, from Boston to Lee, housing for seniors, housing for people with disabilities, housing for first-time home buyers, housing for veterans, you name it, we need more housing. Massachusetts faces a shortage of about 175,000 homes, and it's going to take a continued partnership from the federal, the state, and the local governments and private investment to meet our housing supply needs going forward. But like I said, I'm here to celebrate because this is a reminder we have the leadership and the will to get it done. So, congratulations. And with that, I call up my partner, the best, Ayanna Pressley.
All right, well, at least I don't have to worry about my hair blowing. But I am cold. That being said, Senator Warren, thank you for always persisting when it comes to justice in every form, including and especially housing justice. Thank you for your partnership. Senator Warren and I, both serve on the Financial Services Committee. Housing is under that. I also have the honor of chairing the task force on aging and families. And, I love having Senator Warren as a partner because we speak the same love language, which is policy. Policy matters because it determines who survives, who dies, who lives, who thrives. Policy determines everything. And so I am going to be partisan for a moment and just say on the Financial Services Committee, when Maxine Waters was our chairwoman, we had 55 hearings on housing. And in this 118th Congress, in the minority, we have only had one hearing on housing. So I just offer that to say that elections matter, policies matter, and housing is everything. Recently, I had a teletown hall with about 2,500 people, and housing was the first, second, and third priority. It is everything. So this is a great day as we celebrate something that is really more. Everyone deserves more than shelter. Everyone deserves to have a home. Housing is health. Housing is dignity. Housing is community. Housing is peace of mind. And it is the very least that we can do. Housing is our most important infrastructure. It is fundamental to everything. For people in the dawn of their lives, the prime of their lives, the twilight of their lives, it is everything. And Ms. Beverly, as a woman of faith myself, I will say that most certainly God does answer prayers, but not only because you are now a Two Life girl, but we thank God for answering the prayer of giving us all the gift of you and the many contributions that you have made to community. And all of our elders. Toto? It's getting serious up here. Okay. let me keep it together and get through this. I'm reminded of my mother, may she rest in peace and power, who was a social worker for our elderly. And I remember a story that she shared with me once of an elder who had a life happening and became disabled. And because she was not in adaptive housing, every day she had to sit on her bum and scoot down the stairs to exit her home. And every day to get back into her home, do that again. And how demoralizing that was. And so this Two Life community is one of housing justice, healthcare justice, elder justice, disability justice, and dignity. And I am so grateful and excited to celebrate the completion of the J.J. Carroll House, a public-private partnership between Two Life Communities, BHA, which has allowed Two Life. Whoa! Listen, y'all, I just want to say thank you. I want to celebrate and Kim Driscoll and Elizabeth Warren and Michelle Wu and Lizbeth and Amy. Happy Women's History Month. Thank you.
Good morning. Wow. How did I get so lucky to follow this fabulous powerhouse of women that we have in Congress representing us? So I think everybody here can agree that if you work in housing, this is the best state to work in. We're passionate, we care, we move it forward. And what better administration than the Healey-Driscoll administration, who advances affordable housing at every turn. Thank you so much. Not only has this administration prioritized affordable housing with impressive speed and incredible depth, but they have understood the fundamental connection for older adults between affordable housing that gives people a stable place to live and the health care that we're going to be providing at this fabulous PACE Center behind us that you'll all get to see in a little bit. We thank you so much for that deep understanding and your efforts to make this possible. The fact that we have two passionate and creative cabinet secretaries here, and they will be coming up jointly to talk about the importance that this administration has put behind combining housing and healthcare. Secretary Walsh, thank you for EOHHS's out-of-the-box decision to let us bring our partner Element Care here, to bring the PACE program to Brighton, our campus, but also the entire Alston-Brighton neighborhood. And Secretary Augustus, your understanding of the importance of Two Life's aging in community model is incredibly impressive, and we really appreciate it. And we especially look forward to working with you on the Senior Housing Commission that you've proposed to talk about how we can take this incredible project and replicate it across the state. And of course, people always say Crystal Cornegay. Crystal needs no introduction. But she is the model of housing activism in this state and a commitment to innovation. So, living in fully adaptable housing means that nobody who lives here would ever have to move if their physical condition changes as their frailty goes up. That's a fabulous foundation of stability. And participating in community life means that no resident will ever be isolated or lonely, which are detrimental not only to physical health but emotional health. And the groundbreaking addition of a PACE Center right here in Brighton means that the residents of this building can walk downstairs and get comprehensive health care right where they live, which is going to keep them living here for their entire lives instead of going to a nursing home. So as they make their way up to the podium, please join me in thanking Secretaries Walsh and Augustus for their fabulous leadership in housing and healthcare integration.
Thank you. We're very happy to be here representing Team Healey-Driscoll. We work as a team across state government, and I'm very proud to have Ed as our partner, and he's the center. I'm the power forward. He's also a really smart guy. He said, we got to be quick. So all I say is for every unit he builds, our goal is to get housing for special populations, like the people who were here at JJ Carroll, like Miss Beverly, who gave so much to our community. I'm so glad to be part of a team that's building housing and creating opportunities for us to give back to you as you age with dignity and resilience and health. Thank you for everything you've done here today.
Thank you, Secretary Walsh. It's great to be here at Mount Everest with you. I really want to just echo and pick up on what Miss Beverly said, because you really did set the tone. Her prayers were answered by being able to be here, but there really are thousands of people across Massachusetts who are still waiting for their prayers to be answered. And it's the team that you've heard from today that are working together on behalf of people in every corner of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts who are still waiting for their prayers to be answered. And we have a great team at the federal level who are doing everything they can to bring more resources. and Governor Healy and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll have made housing the centerpiece of their administration with the Affordable Homes Act. And leaders like Kevin Honan leading the way in the House and our friends in the Senate to get this over the goal line. $4.1 billion of additional resources, 28 policy changes, full implementation of the MBTA Communities Act, taking away local barriers that fortunately in places like Boston don't exist. We need to do all of those things in concert with each other to build more units so more prayers can be answered and more people can have the dignity of home like this Two Life community. Thank you.
I wanted to go inside, but Congresswoman Pressley shamed me. If she could be up here, I could handle it. Anyway, I too will be quick. It's mass housing. If that's the center and the power forward, I'm just the ball boy. Right? I'm just catching the ball here, right? It's all the things that Two Life has done. The city funds, our partners at the city, other folks at the state, then my colleagues back there, we're just ball catchers, right? It's helping people make the hoops. Congresswoman Pressley, as you know, is an amazing speaker, but she and I were together at an event a couple of weeks ago, and she told a story. And I've said this once before, but she told a story that just hit me and made me think so much about our work. And she was someplace and doing her thing, and somebody said to her, to be a better ancestor than you are a descendant. Right? And so when we're talking about this work, it's generational work. Right? It's the thing we do today is not just impacting Ms. Beverly, it's impacting Ms. Beverly in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and allows us all to be better ancestors, to leave the place better than when we found it. So thank you to Two Life for allowing the mass housing folks to be a part of that with you. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, just for being a partner in crime with you. Thank you, secretaries, and thank you and welcome. Oh, thank you, Rep. Honan, just for being you. And thank you to my colleague, Sarah. Raise your hand. Come on, Kathleen, raise your hand. Who work every day to make this stuff happen. So let's celebrate. And are we going to wrap this up and go inside now? Have a great day.
Bob Wakefield, where'd you go? Our PACE partner, bravo!
Thank you, Amy. I just want to start out by saying I thank all the delegations from the city, the state, the feds, because it sounds like Amy and I got a lot of work coming up with all the resources you get to build more of what we have behind. My name is Bob Wakefield. I'm CEO of Element Care. And right behind this beautiful building, fantastic housing, is a brand new PACE site. Two Lives and Element Care are integrating housing with healthcare. And the most amazing thing about it, between the two organizations, we have the resources and the ability to address all the social determinants of health on behalf of the residents here so they can thrive. And hopefully we're short on time. I just want to welcome you back to come and see the operations, to see the results, and see the new programming that we'll be bringing into this setting so the residents will not have to go into nursing home and can stay here as long as they want. So thank you for all that. I appreciate it. Y'all have. I think at this point, I have to introduce the city councilors that are coming in behind me. Let's see if I get it right. Oh, good. You saved me. I love you.
Hi, everybody. We gotta keep it going. I'm Ritzy Lucia. I'm president of the Boston City Council, and I am so happy to be here with all of you and with my colleagues. Everyone has already said it. Housing is a human right, and we have to make it so. And we have to make it so with our dollars and with our commitment. So I'm so happy to be here for the expansion of J.J. Carroll, to see Miss Beverly and Jerome. I see y'all are cooking up a party. Make sure y'all invite both of us, all of us here. when I came here and I visited, you couldn't take me away because all of the seniors just showed just such love for being here, some dynamism being in community, and this is what we need to support. We saw with the pandemic that loneliness for everyone, especially our seniors, was such a big issue. We need to find ways that we continue to support them with the beautiful buildings like this that incorporate principles of universal design. So shout out to the entire team, to Amy, to Emily for all the work that you do. Like so many have said before, the financing is really tough, and I know that the City Council was very proud to support alongside former Councilor Bach, now Administrator Bach. I'm going to bring up my colleagues, Councilor Brighton, the local district councilor, who will talk more about how we supported this project at the city, and I'll also bring up Councilor Mejia.
It's time for calisthenics. Whoa. Oh, it's cold out here. I'm very, very excited as the local district councillor. My career, I spent the first half of my professional career working as a physical therapist with elders. And this PACE centre is a game changer. Back at home in Northern Ireland, we had a thing called a day hospital where you had social care and medical care and advice on housing and all the rest of it together. This is a wonderful concept that I hope we can spread all across the Commonwealth and further afield. Like a good idea needs to be shared. I also want to give a big shout out to everyone that we've been thanking this morning, but also the thought and the very thoughtful consideration of the design of this building. It's bright, it's airy, there's wide hallways, there's airy. There's spaces to sit and pause and sit down and visit your neighbours. It's as we all learned during the COVID, social isolation was an incredible detrimental impact on elders and their young people. None of us were spared, but our elders in particular. And a big shout out to the designers and the architects who built this wonderful building. There's an outdoor children's play space so that grandkids can come and visit their grandparents. It's a beautiful concept, and lots of thoughtful care went into it, and of course a lot of money went into it. But thank you, I'm so excited. But I also want to give a big shout out to our new neighbours who are moving in. Welcome to the neighbourhood, and those folks who are back from JJ Carroll, welcome home again, and I look forward to working with you going forward. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, está frío aquí. I am so excited to be here. I took a trip with Two Life, I think a year or so ago. I'm one of those people that I have to see it to understand it, and I was so incredibly in awe by the intentional community that you all created in East Hampton, where you were bringing elders and folks who are aging out of foster care and other communities to live together, so that we can really see what it looks like to be intentional. And so for me, I just want to say thank you. I'm so incredibly encouraged by this. And we also brought a community from Mattapan, because we're hoping that you're going to bring it to Mattapan too, right? Yeah, that's right. Go get that money, Holden, and everybody else. But just really quick, on a more personal note, is that I always talk about, for me to understand policy, I also have to understand it from my own personal journey. My mom and I bounced from place to place, growing up here in the city of Boston, and my mom was able to get a Section 8 voucher, and her rent was incredibly high once the building that she lived in was sold. And I said to my mom then, it's like, Mom, don't worry, I'm gonna buy you a house. I'm gonna get you out of here. And at the time, I didn't even know what my credit score was, and I didn't even know how I was gonna do it. But I was able to purchase a home here in the city of Boston. My brother and I share one side, and my mom lives on the other. And we have the privilege of making sure that my mom is going to be able to age in place and with loved ones, right? But that's not the case for a lot of people here in the city of Boston, which is why I'm so incredibly happy to see this happening here, because so many of our elders need to be able to age with dignity and with love and surrounded with a different community, to make sure that we all understand that we're all responsible for each other. And I think that that is the most important part. And I know everybody's cold, so I'm not gonna be the one that y'all get mad at, so thank you for all that you do.
Shout out to Commissioner Shea for all you do for our aging adults in the city of Boston.
Definitely. Yay, Emily Shea. Thank you for the Mayor's Office of Housing. You're amazing, always have been. The Boston Housing Authority, oh my God, we love you. I'm so proud I used to work there, for leveraging this land to double the housing and to give us a place to do this. Thank you for Jennifer Crampton and David Colley from Wells Fargo and Dorfman for buying the tax credits. And I'm so excited to recognize our board. Go like this, board. No one in the world has a board that's as active and determined and committed and wonderfully warm and loving as ours. We're so happy that you're here.
I just want to give a quick shout out to the BHA team, including my predecessor, Kate Bennett, who was totally essential to this project. I think we have a bunch of BHA folks kind of hanging out in the back, but on David Gleisch's team, we've got Angela and Nancy and Lauren and Barbara, who are all totally critical people, and Joe Bamberg's team, Amy Tran, and Katie McGonigal is actually somebody who, over the course of this project, Two Life stole from the BHA, and then I stole her back. So she has worked on this project really in 3 different capacities. So I just really want to thank, and also I know they've been shouted out, but Commissioner Shea and Chief Dillon, all of these projects are a collaboration between all of our teams, and we couldn't any of us do it without the others. So just really want to thank all the city and BHA folks.
Come on.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kevin Honan, State Rep, and I have to be very quick. I know it's just an honor and privilege for me to be here. I was the housing chair for 17 years, and no one was a better supporter than you, Kim and Mayor Wu. Thank you for your leadership, and Ed and everybody else, all the secretaries there. I will tell you, when you're doing housing, you need funding, you need zoning, and you need community support. This neighborhood has supported this project from the beginning. Amy, Elizabeth, Kenzie, thank you for your leadership. And again, all across the state, you need communities to embrace housing. We have a housing crisis, and we need people to recognize it and support developments like this. My mother's 90. She would never leave the home she's lived in for 80 years. We'd like her to, but she wants to stay there. So providing health care and housing for our seniors is such a noble cause, and I want to thank Ayanna Pressley for bringing her Chicago passion and her Chicago wind here at Austin Brighton. Thank you all.
All right, and we all know it takes a village to build a project like this. So I have the honor of thanking the Two Life team and our incredible project partners and supporters. So quick shout out to Zoe Weinrobe, who leads the charge, Lisa Kozal, who managed this project, Joe O'Toole, AJ Race, Matt Quinn, Tara Farisi, Denise Hamilton, Isaac Kimbugwe, Laura Taylor, Jill Willett, Debbie Cutler, and the entire Brighton team. What an incredible team we have. And our project partners and supporters, the Mass Design Group, who designed this fabulous building, Delbrook Construction, Stantec Engineering, New Ecology, Klein Hornig Law Firm. Of course, we heard about the teams at Mass Housing and the Boston Housing Authority, Jennifer Crampton from Wells Fargo, Dorfman Capital, and then our project supporters also, Daryl Fest from Brookline Bank and Nora Marino Cargi from the Point 32 Health Foundation. Thank you so much. And to close out our fabulous program, and before we invite you inside for some warm coffee and snacks from the in-house cafe, I'd like to call up Tarita, who will close out our program, and she is a former resident of J.J. Carroll, and we are thrilled to have her back.
I'm trying to. I think I'm froze a little bit up here, but seeing that I was supposed to have been doing the opening, but I'm doing the ending. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Whew. I am so excited to welcome everyone here to the new John J. Carroll apartments. I'm a little starstruck right now, seeing everybody here. My name is Tarita. Some of y'all might remember me from the groundbreaking. I was going to wear my construction hat, but it didn't want to fit over the bun. Almost 2 years ago, I stood right here and shared my story like Miss Beverly did. And welcome again, Miss Beverly, to John J. Carroll. I told my story when I moved here to John J. Carroll in 2006, which is the old John J. Carroll. I had to do this. I am the original John J. Carroll resident. All the John J. Carroll returns, Olga. Everybody that returned from John J. Carroll, please stand up. Please stand up. Thank you. Roxanne just went back in. Of course, she always the last resort. I moved here in 2006 when I had no stable housing. I am so grateful and so thankful for all the state and federal leaders who made a new, warm, even better, more accessible and bigger apartment here with 2 Life. Thank you so much. Ooh, I'm still cold. My husband and I was transferred to Lebanon building. I'm nervous. During the construction, and as you know, I drove the school bus. I was like Miss Beverly, I got to see the sidings and the construction going on to make sure they were moving right along, because I was ready to move in too. Finally, I moved in. We finally moved into John J. Carroll Apartments in January, and my husband and I, we are still blown away at the apartment. It's gorgeous. Thank you so much. I told you at the groundbreaking how grateful I am to Mayor Wu and all the state and federal leaders, like I said, who have made my forever home possible. We are still grateful today. I love walking through the halls and seeing so many familiar faces, which is the old returnees of John J. Carroll, and our new neighbors who get to experience this community. I also got to meet Miss Beverly over at Lebanon last year, and she asked me that I like living at 2 Life, and I told her I loved it. By the way, Miss Emily promised me to hold the scissors to cut the ribbon today as the return of John J. Carroll. So I hope everybody get to enjoy the refreshments. Oh, she gonna pull out the scissors for me. Do it now?
No, we're. Can we have all the speakers and the 2 Life board right now in front of the? So. Tarita can do that. Thank you.
1.